de la presa, de la que estaba en la cárcel, de la que le robó el reloj Daytona en el Fontainebleau. Yo puse todo. Si me tiene que me lo pone. Okay. Saludos Randy, saludos Thurston, saludos Doc Mecca, Florida. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Saludos 30 West Mike. Let's see. Let's see if this looks good. Lo subo ahí. Lo ven en televisión. Okay. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you so much for the thumbs up already. That helps out a lot. All right, guys, I think I'm ready, okay? I think I'm prepared. I think I have everything that you guys need so you can defend. Saludos, Nelson. Welcome back to the show, Nelson. Nelson out of New Jersey. New Jersey. Welcome. Wow. It's a lot of people already. 10 people. I'm in total shock. Saludos. Jose Mercado. Cariño. Mucho cariño. Lots of love to all of you. Lots of love. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show and the only public service watch announcement out there. You know, we are the only ones. I'm your host, the Big Boss. I'm not very, comfortable with the name Big Boss still, but my manager, which is my manager's a family member. To you guys, he's Joaquin. To me, he's Sweet Kikino. He wants me to call myself the Big Boss. I'm not very comfortable with the name still, but he says it's better for us, more exposure for the algorithm, all that good stuff. He tells me all those things, and I gotta listen to him because he is the owner of this, show. Maybe we can, in the near future, we can change our name to something like Jefe, El Jefe, I don't know. So just to let you know, please continue giving me thumbs up because the more thumbs up you give to the channel, the more exposure we get out there. Or Don Juan, they say Don Juan too. They open the doors to us and, they know that we're for real, okay? We have a special watch market update show today. For you guys, we have I would say we have 4 topics that we need to share with you people because it's our duty to do that, to serve you people out there. We don't want to be, we don't want to be called here that we're detectives or that we are exposers. No. We're none of the above, Papi. If you are a good watch dealer, we respect you and we highlight you. If you are a crumb bum, a crumb bum and a sandbag, we let you know what's happening with that, all right? So just to let you know, we're none of the above. No detectives and no exposers. None of that stuff. We don't do none of that stuff here. We just come to give you knowledge. So please don't forget to continue giving me the thumbs up so the channel can explode, And ladies and gentlemen, before we start our topics, let's all please salute the owl. Let's salute him over there. Salute him, Let's do the flap. Show me the owl so they can see that you are people that are for real, that you're not robots. You're real human beings in this channel. Real subscribers, with real likes, real views, real comments, all that good stuff. It's your job. It's your duty. This is your channel. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, before I forget, we are going to have a new network. Kino's working on that already. He's doing all the all the drafts and all the branding and marketing and all that good stuff and logo. Is going to be called the Big Boss Watch Channel. The Big Boss Watch Channel, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for all the owls. The owls. Thank you very much. I want to tell all of you something today that you need to know. You know, if you're not from Miami, Florida, well, you don't know this. But if you are from Miami, Florida, you must know this. And if you don't know this, you're going to know it today because it's our duty. You know, it's our duty to give you this. Ladies and gentlemen, on January of 2025, there was a big thing that happened here in Miami, Florida. You know, it was a big thing. There was a gentleman, he was staying at the ritzy Fontainebleau Hotel. Listen and learn. The Fontainebleau Hotel. And he was over there having some dinner, you know, at the beginning of the year, 2025. He was over there, ladies and gentlemen. So he was over there having some dinner, you know, and on a beautiful place in the Fontainebleau Hotel and Collins Avenue by, you know, 47, 48, 44, you know, down there, you know, beautiful hotel, you know, dinner over there. And ladies and gentlemen, when he's in the bar, he meets a beautiful female, you know, he meets a beautiful female over there. And the female, they started talking and, you know, they started getting nice and chummy and all that good stuff. And the man that was from the Fontainebleau Hotel, he had a room, you know, he was staying there, you know, he was staying in the Fontainebleau Hotel. And, you know, they were getting kind of chummy, you know, they were getting kind of chummy. And he tells the young lady, you know, to, you know, if he wanted to join him in his room. And the young lady says yes. So they get in the elevator with the special keys and they go all the way up. You know, they go all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, if you're not, you know, hearing me, this was January of 2025, okay? 2025. So they go to the room and, you know, they started talking and they started doing some business, you know, him and this young lady. And because, you know, she was basically an unbelievable looking female, you know. I mean, when you see these people, when they go to jail, they don't look unbelievable, but that day she looked unbelievable, you know. And she says that she charges $1,000. So help me God. You can Google all this. It's all over the place. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know? You know, just give me a thumbs up. So the lady tells the gentleman that it costs $1,000. The gentleman is a man that has a deep pockets. He has deep pockets. And he says, you have a Zelle. You have Zelle. And she says, yes. And the lady of the night receives $1,000 from the gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, you know? $1,000, so they got the business down packed. Unbelievable. You're not going to believe what this lady, you know, she had in her neck, you know, in her neck. You're not going to believe what it said in her neck. In her neck, it said, you know, it said here in the neck, it said, dream girl, you know? You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. It says here, dream girl, right? So you saw already that the gentleman Zelle her $1,000 for dream girl services, you know? So, you know, the girl, he went away to the room, to the bathroom, to, you know, the guy, you know, the guy was very hairy. They say he was very hairy, you know, hair in the back. He had like hair in the back and all that good stuff. And he went. And when he went to, you know, absolutely, it became a nightmare, you know? So when he went to the bathroom to clean up, you know, all that, you know, hair he had in the back, not in the front, in the back. Unbelievable story, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you're not going to believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are too young, you're not going to know about this. But the lady had 2 Glenlivet, you know, drinks there. Glenlivet, you know, 18 years, Glenlivet. And she dropped in his Glenlivet. If you don't know about this, you're going to learn today. She dropped the almighty Spanish fly. The almighty Spanish fly. Pete the watch collector. She dropped the almighty Spanish fly. You know, poof. You know, you know, and unbelievable. She dropped the Spanish fly, ladies and gentlemen, and Magilla Gorilla came out of the bathroom ready to attack. And he had the first drink, and she said, "Come on, get nice, get comfortable." We call it Spanish fly. Okay, guys, we need to respect. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Spanish fly. So they started drinking, both of them. Even putting their arms twisted around, to drink with each other. You know what I'm trying to say? Me and my wife try to do that. Believable. So they had the drink, and ladies and gentlemen, before you know it. Magilla Gorilla laid out in the bed. Knocked out. Knocked out. And Magilla Gorilla took off his $35,000, a Rolex Panda, the new one, the reference number 126. Not the 116 that I have, the 126, the new one. And ladies and gentlemen, when he was sleeping, Dream Girl. In the neck, it said here, Dream Girl, neck. She took the watch, she put it in her pocket, she got back in the elevator, and she left Magilla Gorilla in the bed. The hairy guy, in the bed. But ladies and gentlemen, the story, it doesn't, it continues on. So you understand where we at. We are in Miami, Florida. En la masa, brother, la masa, la corrupción, the corruption is here, it's unbelievable. She takes the watch, she made a big score, she made a big score. She must have been watching, that movie of Jennifer, whatever you call it, Lopez, the girl, they dance in the clubs and they get the guys drunk and they charge them thousands of dollars in bottles of Cristal, Moet Chandon, Clicquot, Perrier Jouet, all that good stuff. Jenny, Jenny. You know what I'm trying to say, Petey. You know what I'm trying to say. And ladies and gentlemen, we know exactly what she did with the watch. But let me tell you something. If you guys are planning to come to Miami, Florida, this weekend, from the 27th of March, to the 29th of March of 2026, we have a big show here called Ultra Music, where people are taking Spanish flies left and right. Spanish flies, and you're not going to believe this because maybe you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. But people, they're older than me, go to Ultra to dance, and they spend $5,000 in a ticket. You don't know about this. No more pigs this Christmas. There's no more pigs. There's no more pigs this Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Those tickets cost $5,000, $3,000, $2,000. And ladies and gentlemen, the streets of Miami go crazy, The people go bananas over there dancing and drinking and all kind of stuff, right? So if you're coming to Miami, you gotta come without no watches, no dog chains, nothing, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta come naked, Porque te lo quitan, papi. These people will take off your shoes without taking off your socks. These people will take off your socks without taking off your shoes. These people here in Miami, they all come down to get a score. But that's it. You got it, right? You understand? They will take off your socks off without taking off your shoes. These people are unbelievable, People are unbelievable. But the story gets better, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving you a warning. Because I'm stupid like that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable. We got 31 recovering tomato cans, 32 recovering tomato cans, and 19 thumbs up. The algorithm loves that. They go crazy. They say, man, This guy's unbelievable, you know? This guy's unbelievable. With real subscribers, real views, real likes, and real comments. You know what I'm trying to say, Thurston Howard III. You let them know where it's at. You let them know where it's at. So you stay away from where Thurston Howard III is putting up there, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, you think the story's over. It's not over. It's going to get better now. It's going to get better. So, ladies and gentlemen, the lady scores. Keep in mind, he sent her the money by Zelle. First mistake she did, you know, but she had him knocked out. Magilla Gorilla was knocked out. But the next day, she runs to downtown. You ready for this? The Sybil Building. Sybil Building. She runs to the Sybil Building. We know exactly where she dropped off that watch. We know exactly where she dropped the watch off. As a matter of fact, we know the people. Are we going to tell you the names? No, we don't practice doing that. We let you do that. We do enough by telling you this. We do enough. Me and Sweet Kick Kino, we do enough that we bring you this news so you don't get flim-flam, you don't get fleeced, you don't get hoodwinked, you know, by these hucksters. So she takes the watch to the Sybil Building in downtown. And ladies and gentlemen, she sells a $35,000. I didn't say $35,000. You know, ABC, CBS, and NBC said it. I didn't say it. And she goes to downtown, ladies and gentlemen, and she sells the watch to one of your favorite channels out there, you know, from Miami, for $13,000. You imagine that? $13,000. Under the retail, you know, naked watch, el lambón, you know, el palomo, el lambón, he bought it. He gave her $13,000. $13,000. And the lady se piró. She went back over there, you know, somewhere. I don't know where these people are from. These people are unbelievable. You know, she's a, you know, the call lady, you know, the call lady. You know what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the comments. Look at the comments and you'll learn more. That's why the comments are there. So you could read them. No sean lambones. Por tu madre. Por tu madre. Kino, no te metas. No te metas, Kino. Yo no dije nada. Yo dije que no sean lambones y palomos. No te metas, Kino. No te metas. So no more pigs this Christmas. No more pigs. And she sells the watch for $13,000 for one of those dealers that you like very much and you like to watch their content, you know, for $13,000. But ladies and gentlemen, the greedy monster is always greedy. You know, they already had her phone number. When she accepted the Zelle, she already gave them the phone number. So that guy, Magilla Gorilla, we're going to call him Magilla Gorilla, he gave the Fuzz. He gave the Fuzz the phone number from the Dream Girl, you know? So they had already the phone number of the Dream Girl. But the Dream Girl, the Mazao, yes, the Mazao. The Green Girl got up, papi, y se fue. She got back on the plane and she left. But you know that these thieves, you know, these Dream Girls, these call girls, you know what I'm trying to say. The girl from, hey, thank you very much. You know, help these people out. This is your show. Help them out, you know? I can't do that for you guys. You do the rest. So she left back over there to the Lone Star State because she was a woman of the heat, you know, fire, you know, tenía fuego en el vientre, you know? So she left back, you know, so they knew her number. Thurston, take it easy, papi. So the lady goes back over there to the Lone Star State, but they can't keep away. They can't keep away from El Fuego de Miami, Florida, La Zarza de Miami Beach. And they come down because this is their job, to come back down. She calculated her mind, you know, it's Ultra Festival Week, Music Week over here, you know, starting, you know, on Friday night, you know, the Bayfront Park, the light show, the music, The woofer, boom, 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 boom. Unbelievable, going crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And she decides to fly from the Lone Star State right into MIA. You know, MIA, techno music all night. You know, unbelievable. Money fast, making money fast, you know. You know, the Spanish fly, you know, the Spanish fly en el trago. Poop, the Spanish fly. You know, poop, the roofie. You know, roofie, pop. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, the Spanish fly, you know, to get you, you know what I'm trying to say. She come back and the people were waiting for her in the gate 14, you know? Gate 14. They were waiting for her in gate 14. I have a Spanish fly. Mr. Donut, take it easy, Mr. Donut. Esto es increíble. Unbelievable. So they're waiting for her on gate 14. I think it was gate 14, gate 13. Papi, la cogen. They got her. They got her. They got her right there. They're waiting for her. And ladies and gentlemen, that dealer from over there, from downtown, está en candela, brother. Está en gate 69. Está en candela, and they took her in, you know, and the dream girl was, you know, freaking out. They got her because she thought she was going to escape and come back over here and get people like Grande 65 and Nelson from New Jersey and Doc Mick from Florida, Mr. Donut, you know, people like that, Randy, you know, she was going to come back and get Randy, you know. She thought that, or get Sweet Kid Kino, because Kino's always on the streets. Or get me. I'm an elderly man, you know. I'm an elderly man. That my back hurts. She was coming back for that, but she got pinched and they got her. And the guy from downtown, papi, el tipo está en candela, brother. El tipo está en candela. You know, we don't use no names here, pero el tipo está en candela. Mira, se la quieren pelar, papa. Nada más te digo eso. So if you're coming to Miami for the Ultra Music Festival, techno music, and you're going to take roofies and you're going to take Spanish flies, papi, they'll take off your socks off without taking off your shoes. I'm just letting you know, all right? That is number one, so be careful at Ultra Music Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to part two, you know, to the subject number two. Lo dije bien, ¿verdad? Part two, ¿cómo se dice? How do you say that, guys? I'm going to go to topic two, part two. Come on, this is your show. Help me out. Help me out. You know, I don't know how you call it, you know? But I'm going to say topic number two. So we're gonna go to topic number two. And this is something that I'm gonna part two. Okay, chapter dos. I'm gonna say something to you, and I'm gonna try to keep a straight face on this. There are a lot of people still, they really swear very much on this watch brand. And the watch brand is called Richard Mille. And that's fine. And that's fine. To all you Richard Mille watch collectors, you need to hear this. You need to hear this so you can put this in your arsenal and you can protect yourself. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Richard Mille watches makes, basically, they have different materials that they use, but they're plastic watches, right? They're plastic watches. And Richard Mille, for the last year and a half, has been dropping in price, and people have been staying away from Richard Mille watches. And that's fine that some of you don't like that style, and that's fine. But this is to the ones that like Richard Mille. Me, in my case, I still know a lot of people that swear on Richard Mille. They swear on Richard Mille. And I must tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, but something big is happening right now that when I say this to you, it's going to shock the Richard Mille, you know, fan base. Before I say what I'm going to say, I was taught by a lawyer that taught me that always say allegedly. Everything I'm telling you is allegedly. One more time. Everything that I'm telling you is allegedly. Allegedly. Everything that I'm telling you here, you know, from the Spanish fly story to this story of Richard Mille, is all allegedly. Hear me real well out there at TV land. Everything that I'm saying is allegedly. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is something big happening with Richard Mille watches. and you're not gonna believe this. What's happening now, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I gotta be careful because the lightning can. This one can really, it can really rattle, disrupt, and dismantle, you know, the watch brand, Ricci Mille. Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You have a bunch of people out there. They're doing, replica watches of Richard Mille watches, and you're doing all sorts of things. But what I'm gonna tell you, please, guys, take it to heart. If you are a Richard Mille fan, be careful with Richard Mille watches. There's something happening now that they're doing perfect casings of Richard Mille watches. Chronos. Just they're doing unbelievable casing, the same millimeter, thickness, everything, papi. They're doing everything to the T. I'm just gonna say again, everything that I'm saying is allegedly, but ladies and gentlemen, I have one in my hand. I looked at it. Everything from the weight, from everything. No, papi. When you hear what I'm gonna say, if anybody's a Richard Mille owner and you hear this, you're gonna go, what? So here it goes, ladies and gentlemen, because this is Mr. Donut. They're taking it to a different level because I don't even know how they're making the RM11, right? The RM11 exactly with the same dimensions, same thickness, same, I don't know if it's the same STD, STP, NTP. I don't know, pero papi, when I tell you what they're using, get ready for this. You're ready for this? Because you guys saying it's coming from China or from over there, papi. They're taking this to a different level. If you have a contact somewhere, in one of those factories, and let's say Cartier, right? Cartier. When Cartier takes your watch and you have a Cartier that's automatic, and your watch movement of Cartier se rompió, it's broken, it's no good, it's shut down. What the authorized dealer does, he calls here, because the Cartier is right here over here. They call over there and they say, listen, we got this watch, we're one of the authorized dealers. We have the line, we have the boutique, and my watchmaker here is gonna just, take out the movement and put on the new movement you're gonna send me. Saludos, Alex. Saludo, papa. If you guys don't know this, the little movement comes in a little plastic, a tin foil plastic, and the movement is there in a little plastic box, and they send it to you. You take out the movement from from the Santos. You take out that little movement out, boom, and you put this movement in there. You buy, you pay. You're gonna go. How much is that movement cost? Well, here it goes, because ustedes son unos lambones. It depends if it's chrono, if it's quartz, if it's automatic. $500, $700 a movement, right? You heard that, right? You heard it. Eso como pan caliente, como dar pan caliente. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Donut. Help me out, because I don't want to, I don't want to offend nobody. Papi. This is the #1 watch market update show in the world. In the world. Chosen by no other than Fudinki and Sachs, Goldman, those people were #1, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys didn't know that, but now you know. Do you know where I'm going with this? Salute the moose. The moose is loose. The moose is loose. Ladies and gentlemen, so you heard, esto es pan caliente, papi. Pan caliente con Don Julio, tequila. Don Julio, espera, un palo, brother, un palo. Palo para los muchachos. Para los muchachos. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It means a whole lot when you say that. Eso es así, grande 65. Coño, grande is unbelievable. So, are you following the story? Cartier, and then they tell Thurston Howell, Thurston Howell III, when the movement comes in a Cartier, it costs Cartier $700, $500. You know what it is? They told Thurston it costs, I don't know, $1,700. You know, you get a new movement, bam, bam, bam. Here's your watch, right? Seguimos. Here it is now. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a deep contact in that, factory over there where they make those dials that they tell you is in-house, the chrono in-house, with all the carbon fiber material and the spring, jet spring, they use those words, stealth bomber, tennis, I'm trying to say, the rattle of the rocket, they tell you all that. But they have those, eso están ahí también. They have all those movements, chrono movements, this movement, that movement. You guys don't know about this, Papi. Look, I'm telling you, man. You're going to go, wow, Papi. They're bringing in the movements. Allegedly. Localization, Papa. Localization. They make a phone call. We got a problem with one of these Richie Mille watches. We got a problem, and you know what? It's not worth to disassemble it because esto es mierda, papi. The cat is out of the hat, bro. The cat is out. He's like Felix the cat, He has unbelievable things in his bags. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Donut. And ladies and gentlemen, they make a phone call that we need a chrono movement. We need a chrono movement. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how much a movement allegedly from Richard Mille costs? Does anybody know? Have you ever done that kind of homework? Have you ever done that kind of homework? Well, let me tell you. Eso tienen docenas, dozens. Like that, all of them. Forget about playing with that watch. Just send in the movement. Let it put it in. Que se vaya para el carajo. Que se vaya para el carajo con el reloj que le vendimos 380,000. Let him go. Get away out of here. We already sold the watch for $350. Put the movement that cost $2,000 and shut up. Boom, $2,000. Ladies and gentlemen, people are getting movements allegedly from Richard Mille and putting them in, replica cases that you won't believe it, Papi. You won't believe it. You won't believe it. The watch is exactly the same thing. Same thing. But they're putting in supposedly a real. Papi, listen to me. You guys have to understand that this is the #1 watch market update show in the world. We're #1, Papi. Allegedly, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, please put allegedly there. Put allegedly out there. Papi, they'll tell you, that guy, what he said, he's not lying to you. They will tell you, that guy, that crazy Spanish guy, what he's telling you, what he's dropping on you people, it's all square business. He's not lying to you. Because, they're coming out. Sell them. Give him the movement. Give him the movement. Charge him for the movement, and that's it, and move on. We don't have no in-house. Allegedly, it's allegedly. It's always coming from over there, from the corner. From the corner, everything is allegedly, we say here. Allegedly, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that. So, I'm telling you, Papi, lo que está pasando, what's happening with Richard Mille watches, I'm telling all of you to please be very, very, very careful out there, because you might be buying a Richard Mille movement. A movement. You might be buying a Richard Mille movement. I want all these people to listen to me out there. I want them to look at my face. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say something else because I have to say. Today was the first day. Today was the first day of a show that's been happening here in Miami, Florida for, 60 years, man. And it's called the Miami Beach Original Antique Show, Papi. You're not going to believe how many watches they were there today on each person's booth. Listen to me, no sean lambones. There's not enough risk to buy the watches that are out there. There's not. I came to the conclusion today, walking through the Miami Beach Antique Show, saying to myself when I would walk, I said, dude, there's impossible that there can be so many risks to buy all these watches. I was saying today, did anybody go to the Miami Beach Antique Show today? Did anybody go? Did anybody go to the Miami Beach Antique Show? Nobody went, right? Perfect. So you don't know about this. Papi, they were loaded up. They were loaded up. They were loaded up with watches there. The people must have in each booth. Papi, I'm going to just say, don't get scared. $2 million in watches. And out of the $2 million that were in watches there, I'm telling you, there were 1.5 Rolex watches. Rolex watches. The place was the first day, it was empty. It was empty. I felt like, what am I doing here? I got there at 12. I got there at 12 o'clock. And at 2:30, Bobby, I was gone. I was gone. I was gone. At 2:30, I kish. If you don't know what the word kish is, I kish. I kish at 2:30. I took an Uber and I went to Fuego de Chao. I went to Fuego de Chao. I had a couple of chums. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the show was dead and those booths were full capacity of watches that they had been sold through the back door. Through the back door, ladies and gentlemen. I bounced, Papi. I said, this is not for me. And I have one of those passes, you know? I have a pass that's like, you know, the manate, you know, a big, you know, like a big rope and it hangs here. I was embarrassed to I put it away in my pocket. I didn't want people to come and talk to me, you know? I was embarrassed. So just let you, a VIP, one of those big ones. I don't know, it's really big, you know what I'm saying? I had that, but it was embarrassed. And ladies and gentlemen, I spoke to a couple of cats. They were there. They know who I am. And ladies and gentlemen, they went like this to me from far away. You know, and I went like this to them from far away. You know, and I got near them and they say, look what they did to me. Look what they did. Look what they did to me. Look what they did to me. Look, here it goes. Look what I got. The guy from far away. Look what I got. And I went like this. And I looked. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. That's all I got to tell you. I'm letting you know, if you are a Richard Mille fan, Papi, people are getting the Zik. They're getting the Zik. They're getting the Zik. You know the Zik? You know what the Zik is? If you don't know what the Zik is, you Google it. The Zik. You know, Zik. They're getting it deep, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't believe what they were showing me. And then they have the guts to tell you, nah, I give it to you. You ready for this? No se asusten. I give it to you for 75, 65, 55. You know? So be careful. If you are a Richard Mille watch fanatic, Papi, the game is different now. The game is different. The game is la próstata, papi, el examen de la próstata. They do the examination of the prostate, you know? Brother, I know what I'm trying to tell you. But let me tell you something. You put that watch on your hand, and the first thing is that the watchmaker is going to look at, is going to look at the movement. He's going to say it's a real movement. You got to have somebody that's in there. Somebody that's in there that's letting go of movements. Letting go. And they're putting them in there on those cases, and you guys are getting fleeced. You guys are getting fleeced. They don't want to talk about this, Papi. It's not their convenient for them to talk to you about this. But I have to. You know, I have to talk to you about this. Papi, yo te estoy diciendo, listen to me. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy out there. And these desperados, you know what a desperado is? They're getting desperate. These desperados are getting desperate. You know what a desperado is? You don't know what a desperado is? Would you want me to tell you what a desperado is? I don't have time for that today. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. You know what I'm trying to say, desperado. You know what I'm trying to say, and you guys must know this, all right? So if you are that kind of a client of Richard Mille Watches, Papi, this show is so powerful. You know what it is to have 32 organic watch channel subscribers, recovering tomato cans, and 32 likes? Papi, this has never happened in this show. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Aquí no sé, tengo 32 subscribers y 33 thumbs up. Eso es increíble, Tino. Si llegamos a 40, we get to 40 today, we're breaking a record. I think we got 41 one time, so we got to get 42. Just to let you know, I'm just letting you know what's going on. So we already touched part 2, right? Part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. I'm going to tell you something again. I'm going to try. Coño, Thurston Howard III, eres grande, papá. Thurston Howard los mandó 5 cañitas. Coño, Thurston, let me give you a sweetheart, man. You know, this is unbelievable, you know, and unbelievable. No more pigs this Christmas. You're right, no more pigs. Thank you very much, Thurston, from the bottom of my heart, Papa. Thank you very much. Gracias. To all of you, thank you very much. What I'm going to tell you now, it's all, again, allegedly. But I have to tell you this because we do deep, you know, searching on certain things. And many of the people that you like to watch have been talking to you about all the Rolex releases that are going to be happening in the next couple of weeks, right? And nobody dares to say what I'm going to say today, but I'm going to have to say it to you because you guys probably love this watch brand, and I love it too. And this watch brand has a massive, and I'm talking about a massive milestone. One more time, let's see where you guys are at. This watch brand has a massive milestone this year. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? No? Nobody knows? Okay. No, don't worry about it. I'm going to help you out. It's not Tudor. And nobody has talked about this. And when I tell you about this, you're going to go, but how do you know about this? Well, you know, this is all allegedly, and this is all the information that you're, you know, the boss of this channel, the original boss, Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you. He finds out and he bounces it to me, and I repeat it to you guys. But if you guys don't know this, please listen up because it's very important for you guys to listen to this. On April the 14th to April the 20th, there's a very big show happening over there. I don't know over there, Geneva, Swiss. I don't know where one of those places they make the special show, of the wonders and watches. And ladies and gentlemen, somebody is celebrating an unbelievable, massive, mammoth milestone. Here it goes. And that watch brand is no other than Patek Philippe, ladies and gentlemen. Patek Philippe, ladies and gentlemen. Patek Philippe basically is going to be, showing something, a special edition on a watch brand, on a watch model, on a watch model. And that watch model, ladies and gentlemen, is called the Nautilus. The Nautilus was released in 1976, and we are today in 2026. So if you add that up, it gives you a round number, It gives you a round number, and what they're talking about, they're going to be releasing something that's unbelievable, the 50 years of 1976, 2026. The Nautilus 50th anniversary was a 5711, Then the 5811 was the successor. You know, the original reference was the 3700 in 1976. Patek is expected to pull out all the stops. The lead rumor, listen and learn, the lead rumor. You know, the successor of the 5711 was a 5811 white gold, right? White gold. Beautiful watch with a beautiful blue dial. You know, unbelievable. White gold, blue dial. But ladies and gentlemen, since we're going into the 50th anniversary of this watch, Patek Philippe allegedly is saying, they're saying all over the place that they are going to be doing a reference, ready for this? 5811/1P Platinum. 5811 Nautilus 1P Platinum, Poppy. Listen and learn so you guys can run. You can run to, because I know that many of you belong to, you know, a lot of those boutique, Patek Philippe boutiques. So this is what they're saying that they're going to do. They're going to make a 5811 1P Platinum, ladies and gentlemen. You know, a Platinum Nautilus. You know, the tradition of the 40th, remember when they had the 40th year? They did a 40th year. They did a 40th year, you know, a 5711 and exactly, Papi. But you have to know about this because these motherfroggers are not going to tell you so you don't run and kiss and tell your boutique dealer that you heard this. But they're keeping it to themselves. But not me, because I was taught by Paco Gambino to let people know what you know. Don't worry about it. Let them know. So what? They're not doing it for you. They're not like us. They're not like us. You know, they don't want to give it away like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I will give it away like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid like that. Because I like being stupid just like that. And you need to know the truth and nothing but the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. You know, this is what happened with the 5711. You know, 5711. And now this is the platinum version with a special anniversary dial. You know, it's unique, you know, with a unique gradient or vintage blue. No sean pendejo, papi. You're hearing it from me for free. You gotta salute me. You gotta give me respect, man. You gotta show me respect, ladies and gentlemen. Kino, no te metas. No te metas. Eso no es problema tuyo. No te metas. No, es el show tuyo, pero no te metas. No, yo no le dije nada malo a ellos. No le dije nada. You understand me? So this is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's a unique gradient or vintage blue. You know, it's the top prediction. Listen to me. Para then you guys told me, man, that motherfrogger, bro, he just dropped it there. He just said it. He just said Patek Philippe, más nada. He said the Nautilus. And all of you, you know how all of you are like this? Sleeping in the hay, en la paja. But I'm telling you because I have to tell you. Somebody got to tell you. They're not going to tell you. And you might say, but how do you know? Papi, when I go into I went to the Miami Beach Antique Show. They saw me there. They saw who I was. Papi, ni se me acercan. Ni se me acercan. You know what that means? Ni se me acercan. You know what that means? Juan, did you pass by Deputy Boxing Black Eyes booth? 100%. That's right. Son grandes, papi. Son de acero. Son de acero. You don't know about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, the story continues, ladies and gentlemen, right? When I tell you this, you're going to go, but how does this guy know this? You ready for this? Do you want to know the expected retail price of that watch? Papi, eso va a ser una jodienda. 1976, 2016. Are you hearing me? One more time. 1976, 2016. You know that. Papi, papi, papi. Hay que tener gandinga, papi. ¿Qué cazzo? ¿Qué cazzo parla? Wait till you hear. Wait till you hear the retail price of this. I'm going to tell you the white gold, 5811 white gold. You know, 5811/1G. The gold. That price is $82,000 to $90,000. Now here comes the platinum. You want to hear it? Here it goes, Papi. Here it goes. Here it goes, Mr. Donut. If you can get it, Thurston Howell III, if you can get it, Randy, if you can get it, Doc Mick of Florida, if you can get it, Alberto, if you can get it, Alex, you know what? If you can get it, Nelson, you know, if you can get this watch, you run over there and you tell them, Papa, hold on. I'm a real customer here. The retail price of that they're expecting on that watch, expected retail of the 5811/1P platinum with a special gradient vintage dial, probably with the numbers up there, you know, 1976, 2026 is between $145,000 and $160,000 the retail. If you can get one, you're gonna go ching. You're gonna go to $700,000. You're gonna go to $900,000 for that watch. God, Dios mío. Was that good or no? Was that good? Was that good? That's what it is. But Juan, how do you know? That's not your problem, how I know. Your problem is to know what's going on. What they won't tell you, I will. Papi, I was saving this for you people. I was saving this for you people because you need to know this. You need to know this. They want to get in the line before you get in the line. They want to get in the line. You only got to get one. Alberto d'Italia, Forza Italia, uno nada más. You need to get one. You need to come out with $160,000. Here's my money. Papi, you got there solid. You got there $350,000. But you got to get it. You got to get it. And where did you hear this from? Forget about it, where I heard it from. That's not your problem. Your problem is that I'm telling you. It's a backdoor deal, backdoor. But if you are a good customer, you can get the backdoor. You know? They'll wax and clean up your sinus congestion, you know, and open a bottle of, one of those bottles of Macallan, 24. Here it is, Papi, Now, I told you that part. I have to give you another one now. You're going to go, man, today, I'm even going to pat myself on the back, because I'm going to give you something special. Material shift. You know what material shift is? You should hear all this, guys. You should hear all this. Tomorrow's Friday, and you're all going to be happy. And you're gonna say, you're gonna wake up, this is crazy. How did this guy, here it goes. Hear me out. There's a material shift. There's talk of a fool on the 5811. Do you know what material shift is, ladies and gentlemen? Material shift, material shift. This is part 3. Thank you, Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this, there's talk of a full titanium on the new Nautilus 5811. Titanium. They want to stay away from the stainless steel and they want to go into titanium out of 5811, ladies and gentlemen, to make it more and more desirable and more, I don't even know how to say that word, exclusivity. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know too much about that kind of word, exclusivity. I don't know. You help me out. Kino, no te metas, si tú tampoco sabes. Tú eres un cubano loco. Tú no sabes esa mierda. Exclusivity. exclusivity. They want to make it more exclusivity. The jumbo tribute. You don't know about this, what you're hearing today. Your head should be rocking around because there's nobody doing a live stream. I don't care who you are. Exclusivity. They want to make it extremely exclusivity. Unbelievable but true, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving you this for free. Because I'm like that. I'm telling you, I'm like that. I want to give it to you for free, papi. I pour my heart out to you guys because you guys deserve this. Who else is telling you this information? I just finished telling you they're not going to give it to you. They're not going to give it to you because they want to run. They want to run to every top shelf, papi, top shelf. They want to run to every single boutique of Patek all over the world. I want to get one. Listen to how hard they're making this. You're saying, coño, but both watches are going to be two incredible watches because this is a massive milestone of Patek Philippe. 50 años. 50 years is better than saying 60 years. 50 years. ¿Cómo se llama eso? Half a century? Half a century. 50 años. If you look at the 40, it was nice, it is, and it still costs $400,000, for one of those gold watches that they made. 1976, 2016. This is, papi, 50 años, 50 years. Mira, ponte en el paredón. You know what a paredón is? Where they put the guy standing, with a cigar in his mouth, and no, you can't see, and localization. But if you can get that watch, Bobby, if you can get that watch, I want you guys to hit a home run. I want you guys to come to my channel and say, man, Juan, you're not gonna believe, but I got one, man. It's what it is. These Meshuggahs, these mother froggers, I repeat, hear me out there, TV land. I said mother froggers. Mother froggers are running to call their AD. Yo, manager, what's happening? This is what I heard. You heard about the platinum, and now you're hearing about the titanium, man. A titanium with a special blue dial as well, because they want to stay away. They want to stay away from stainless steel. So they're going to go into titanium, papi. Esto va a ser una locura. What's going to happen with those two models from the Nautilus is going to go crazy. Okay? I'm going to let you know that. And I already told you the prices of the platinum. I'm not going to tell you the prices of the titanium. I'm not. But I'm going to give you the platinum so you can already start working on that already. And I'm also going to tell you in the next live, I'll tell you what else they're coming down with. I'm going to tell you now what they're coming out with and what they're going to do, allegedly. You ready for this? The other thing they're going to be doing is they're going to be bringing in a new Calatrava and complications. A new Calatrava, which they already did. They already sent out like two of them already, 2 or 3. But now they're going to have a couple of more. They're also going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, the Cubitus expansion, okay? They're going to be doing a Cubitus expansion on that watch, the one that many of you don't like, the 45, the 40, they're going to do something, The other watch that they're going to be talking about I know what it is already, I know what it is, and everything is allegedly. It is the Grand Complications. They have a new grand Complications. You saw what happened to that guy, that movie star that's like 94 years old. I think his name is Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. That guy, like 90 years old, and he took one of his, Chimi watches that he got, and he sold it, porque no es un pendejo. He sold it. Let me get rid of it. You know, he sold it. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we got 38 thumbs up. If we get 42, we broke our record, man. This is insane. Unbelievable, but true. You know, unbelievable. If we get 42, we break it. You know, it's unbelievable. Let's try to break it, you know, so they can get mad at us. You know, they can get really mad at us that we broke it, you know. 42, I mean, these are organic 42 thumbs up, right? So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. In our next live stream, I'll give you more of the Calatrava and complications, the Cuba test expansion, and also the grand complications, all right? And there it is. You know, I'm telling you this because you need to know this is the extreme exclusivity of the Jumbo Tribute, a vintage inspired model that echoes the proportions of the original 1976, ready for this? Gero Genta. Gero Genta. One more time. Of the original 1976 Gero Genta. Man, guys, you know, I know a little bit about watches. Every once in a while, you know, I surprise myself, you know, because I read, you know, and oh my God, 40, we need 2, we break it. 41, we tie, and 42, le rompimos la narga. I'm telling you, ladies, this is crazy. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. This is gonna go. It's gonna go viral. This channel. It's gonna go viral. I'm telling you, it's gonna go viral. You know, yapping about. Papi, I'm telling you. Remember the guy I told you? Remember the guy that I was walking, and he went like this to me, and I went like this to him, and he did this to me. Look what I got. I sat down with him more than I was in the show. More than I was in the show. You know, I'm just letting you know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You need to know what's going on. No, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the thumbs up. If we get 2, we break it, Papi, okay? We break it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I cannot tell you guys what I'm doing, because I got to get them there in fragante, you know? I gotta get them there, you know? Because if you're going to tell them that you're going to bomb them, you know, bomb them, they're ready for you for the bomb, you know? But if you don't tell them nothing, they don't know which way I'm coming in. If I'm going to the south, the north, you know, over there in the Miami Beach Convention Center. It's unbelievable. They got a real big sign that says, you know, world champion. If you don't know about this, you're going to know about it today. They got a real big sign that says world champion Muhammad Ali. You know, the night that Muhammad Ali, I don't know what kind of knockout that was, because I seen it 1,000 times with Paco Gambino, my father, you know, when they were around. And I said, but I can't see it. And Paco Gambino told me, that's exactly it. You can't see it. That's how fast it was. You know, it was a phantom knockout. You know what I'm trying to say? When Muhammad Ali fought Sonny Liston, it was unbelievable, you know? You know, it's unbelievable what I'm trying to say. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope from the bottom of my heart that you guys appreciate what I'm saying. I believe that, oh my God, that's it. We got 42. Whoa! We got 42. We broke it. Yes, sir. What a show. What a show, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We broke it, 42, ladies and gentlemen. What a show. 43, ladies and gentlemen. We broke it, Papa. You know why we broke it? Because we dropped knowledge, man. And when you drop knowledge, coño, gracias, Mr. Blair. Randy, gracias, Randy. Woo! Unbelievable. Kino, dame la trompeta. Dame la trompeta, Kino. But hold on. 43. This deserves this, you know. Unbelievable. Wow, man. Whoa. Thank you. The third. Thank you for that super chat. It's unbelievable, that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, I got an unbelievable super thanks chat right now. 45, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is an unbelievable. Let me do a double wacko here. A double wacko here. Unbelievable. Where's this thing at? I'm even getting. Kino, vamos a la cosa esa. Kino, I'm acá. I got a double one now, ladies and gentlemen. I got a double one. You're not going to believe this. This is crazy. Unbelievable. We did it, boys. We did it. We're special, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm very, very happy that you guys, wepa. I'm going to have a drink of water. and then we're gonna do a watch market update show, and then we can go hop along Cassidy, hop along Cassidy. Unbelievable, we did 44, man. That's Papa. You know what 44 organic thumbs up is? That's like saying 2,700 fake thumbs up. You don't know about that. You don't know about that, but it's the truth. I'm telling you. Gracias. Gracias a todos ustedes from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Doc Make Florida. Wow, man. Thank you, Doc. This makes me so happy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Doc a sweetheart, man. He's unbelievable. This is the best show in the world, man. I'm so proud of all of you because you guys really, man, 45 thumbs up. Man, we might make it to 50. That's crazy, but I'm happy with 45. You can leave it right there, 45, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very happy, to be honest. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I'm going to go into the watch market update so you guys can, be more happy, más contento. Oño, qué lindo, man. 30 West. Very nice. Thank you to all of you, man. That makes me, man, coño, esto es para todos ustedes. Unbelievable, this show, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who's that? Come on, who's Gus? Tell me who Gus is. Put him there. Don't be afraid. Put it there. Say what you gotta say. Don't hide. Tíralo para la calle, papá. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go into the watch market update. Ladies and gentlemen, our first watch is the almighty Rolex Panda. The Rolex Panda. Coño, I don't know him. I think I don't know him. I don't know who he is, Papa. But I'll get to know him one day. Please introduce me to him. Is he a good guy? Please introduce me to that gentleman. I'm going to be talking about the Rolex Panda Daytona stainless steel 40 millimeter, the new reference number, the 126500LN. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking, wow, 46. This is crazy. 46. I'm getting emotional, boys. I'm getting emotional because this channel, you guys care about this channel. Your love and and affection to sweet Kino, to me, Joaquin, to you. He got a big smile. We're very happy. That this is happening. But ladies and gentlemen, on that Rolex Panda Daytona stainless steel, the new reference, the new version, all that good stuff. I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that watch. Wow, 47. That's crazy, man. Goosebumps for some reason. I have no audio, but wow. Maybe you should shut it off, Ed, and put it back on. Maybe it'll come back in. Maybe, I don't know. Don't pay for that watch more than $30,500. We say in this channel the way we see things, the way they are. So, well, there it is. I said 30,500 yes, it did. It worked out for me. Mr. J, it sure did, Mr. J. It sure did. Thank you for joining the show, Mr. J. Thank you very much. And then thank you for lunch today. Lunch was wonderful today at Fuego de Chao. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to say this to all of you so you know what to do and how to defend yourself. Our next watch is a Rolex Bruce Wayne with a Jubilee bracelet. Jubilee bracelet, 40 millimeter. If you're looking into that watch, I'm going to tell you, the watch is still, it has meat left on the bone. It has meat left in the bone. This is the Rolex Bruce Wayne with a Jubilee bracelet. Jubilee bracelet. If you're looking to buy that watch, don't pay for that watch more. No, I wish I can tell you that, Alex, but the watch has trickled up, has moved up, and basically, we got to say the numbers the way they are. Don't pay for that watch more than $19,600, right? That's the Bruce Wayne, the all Bruce Wayne, ladies and gentlemen. Our next watch is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Listen to this because it's very important if you listen to this watch. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak stainless steel with a blue dial, and it's also a Gero Genta, jumbo, 39 millimeter. Beautiful watch with a blue dial. This watch in the Corona beer era, it was up there in a price of a buck 25, a buck 40, and people got burned, and people had tire skid marks on their Fruit of Loom and Hanes underwears of all the money they lost. But we got to give it to you the way it is. Give it to you, and give it to you. There's no more brand, very good brand, very good brand. Very well done brand. I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that watch more. You do whatever you want. You want the Starbucks, Alex? I'm going to give it to you now. Don't pay for that watch more. I mean, you do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch more for that 15202 39 millimeter. Don't pay more. And here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. You got to get this watch full set. If you don't get this watch full set, don't buy it. If you're gonna get it half, oh my God, 49, gracias. Wow, we got 49 thumbs up. This is a new record, man. This is gonna go viral. The more thumbs up you get, the more exposure you get. I don't know, but I'm telling you, don't pay for the 15202 jumbo AP blue dial. Don't pay more than $54,000, and you want a full set. If not, you don't want it. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you two prices for the price of one watch model. Model, yeah. This watch is the Rolex Batman. The Rolex Batman, You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't do that. Don't go. I don't know. Hey guys, read what I don't know. This channel's going crazy. You gotta read what a gentleman wrote there. I don't know his name. I think his name is Angry. Look what Angry put there. It's unbelievable what he put there. That Angry. He's unbelievable, that Angry. It's unbelievable. I don't know. You guys do whatever you want. Allegedly. Oh my God. Public information. Wow. This show is gonna blow up, man. Wow. Answer my question. What was your question? I don't know. What was your question? Answer my question. Where is he at? He wants me to answer a question. I'll answer whatever you want. Tell me, what do you want? You want to know my taxes? My Social Security? What do you want to know about me? Come on, tell me. Salud dial, ladies and gentlemen. Salud dial. Bobby, I'm telling you, you knew that, okay? There it is. I didn't say it because I'm a man of ethics and scruples in my life. I can take you all the way to the water, but I can't make you drink it. So, I am. That's who I am, Bobby. That's who I am. Are you happy here in the channel? Are you happy? Let's give this guy... So let's give David, David, I don't know his name, but he's asking me if I'm a Kentucky Fried Chicken guy, Let's make him feel happy and tell him yes, Okay, the 40, okay. The smooth 40, okay. Let me just I'm going to have to, because I'm going to get out of what I'm doing. Versus you know what, to be honest, I'm going to be honest. For me, for some reason, on the Platinum date 40, maybe you guys don't agree with me, and that's fine. But he's asking me a question. What do I like more in a Platinum? The smooth bezel or the fluted bezel? I'm going to ask my audience, my 49 thumbs up. What do I like more? The smooth bezel or the fluted bezel? What do you think I like? I'm going to tell you what I like, but I want to know if anybody knows. Coño. Somebody said it right away. I got a fluted 100%. Somebody. Well, here it goes, guys. I'm going to be honest. On the Platinum, for some reason, here it goes. I'm a smooth guy. I'm being honest with all of you. On the Platinum, I just think that the fluted on the Platinum, it makes me think I'm looking at a at a white gold. But, you know, to answer his question, he was asking, and I'm giving it to him. Yes, I like it in smooth, right? I hope that answers your question. Mr. Alex was asking me for the Starbucks, which is like, I think is the one with the green ceramic bezel, the green ceramic bezel with the black dial. 40. You're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. I hope that answers your question. Okay. And I'm sorry I was not ignoring you. Is that today I'm like very popular. You know, today I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. I feel I don't know. Oh my God. I don't know what to tell you. I'm about to cry. You know. Let me give un soplazo aquí. But ladies and gentlemen, for Alex on the Starbucks. Alex, don't pay for that watch more than I told you the other day, man, that those watches, you know, don't pay more than $13,000. Okay? Don't pay. You call it the Starbucks, I call it the froggy legs. 50. Wow, did I get 50 already or no? No, 49. One more. Whoa, ooh la la. Ooh la la. Feel the love. I do, Papa. I feel the love. Thank you so much from all of you, man, from the bottom of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch that I was telling you, I'm going to give you two prices for the price of one watch model. Here it goes. It is the Rolex Batman 40 millimeter. This is the new reference number. It is the 126710BLNR with an oyster bracelet. Not Jubilee, oyster bracelet. Oyster bracelet. Show 50, boys. People want to see 50 up there. People want to see 50. Who's the lucky one that's going to put 50 up there? Put it up there. Don't be ashamed. Put it up there. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. This watch right here is the Batman. You know, the new reference number with an oyster bracelet. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this, don't pay for this watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. The new reference number, $15,200. That is the new reference number. You want to hear the reference number? The 126710BLNR with an oyster bracelet. But if you want to get the 116 Batman, the 116 Batman 710BLNR, 116 with an oyster bracelet, ladies and gentlemen, the older reference. Don't pay for that watch. You ready for this? Does anybody know? Anybody know? Thank you, Nelson. Gracias, Papa. Gracias. Gracias. Don't pay for that watch more than $13,000. I can say $12,900. Let's say $12,900. Okay, $12,900. If you want that watch, don't pay more than that. You do, and you want it with all the bells and whistles, right? I gave you two prices for the price of one. You know, believable. I feel like today we're in Corvettes. You know, I'm Corvettes and you know, over there in New York, you know, Corvettes department store, you know, or Gimbals, you know, Gimbals, unbelievable, you know. Unbelievable. Thank you, Swami. Poor guy, man. You gotta help out. You gotta help out that guy, Eugene. You know, you seen his nails? They look like demon nails. Unbelievable. I don't know. And his teeth, you know, he has yellow booger teeth, not yellow teeth, yellow booger. You know, yellow booger teeth. Be careful. Take care of him. Watch out for him. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you another watch here. It's called the Omega Speedmaster. LJ Corvette. Correcto, Nelson. Correcto, Papa. Omega Speedmaster. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is an Omega Speedmaster. This is a brand new watch that I was offered. Brand new, fully sticker with all the bells and whistles and a real long reference number, you know? It's black, completely black. You know, the chrono, the Speedmaster, reference number 310-304-2500-1001 chrono. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for that watch, don't pay. I mean, you do whatever you want. Pero Omega está jodido. Omega, if you pay for this watch, let me explain to you this. I'm going to tell you the price you should not pay. I mean, I wouldn't pay, but I'm going to tell you the price you should not pay. Bien, Thurston. Pero aquí voy, Thurston. Here it goes. And this is the punchline. This is the punchline Not the price that I'm going to give you. It's what's going to happen once you pay it. Once you pay this price, what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Omega Speedmaster Black. Beautiful chrono. Don't pay more than $5,700, right? And as soon as you get it, that watch costs $4,000 already. $4,000. Okay? There it is. I'm sorry if I offended anybody with Omega watches. But I know what I'm trying to tell you. You know, I know what I'm trying to tell you. No sean lambones y palomos. Stop being sandbags and crumb bums, window lickers, cow tippers, possum kickers, tomato cans, you know, Palmolive dish lickers. You understand me? Buffaloes. You cannot. You cannot. I'm not going to permit that. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the one for you guys. The Rolex stainless steel Land Dweller, 36 millimeter with a white chicken coop dial. You know, white chicken coop dial. This is not the, you know, the bigger one. This is the 36, you know, the 36. The popularity is dying out, papi. Se está muriendo, se está terminando ya, you know, se está terminando. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, so you understand about this and, you know, you don't make a mistake. You know, you don't make a mistake. The Land Dweller 36 millimeter with a white chicken coop dial, reference number 127234. Does anybody know what I'm going to try not to pay for that watch? Does anybody know? I mean, you know, we can't exaggerate. We got to say what it is for real, you know, a real number, you know. And remember, these watches are from last year, papi. Esto es viejo ya, papi. Esto es un carro viejo. Ya esto es un carro viejo, coño. Brand, you're right there already, Brand. I can say, leave it alone with Brand. Leave the number that Brand put. You don't have to look for it no more. Don't pay for that. Land Dweller, stainless steel, white chicken coop dial. Don't pay more than $17,800. You do whatever you want, papi. You do whatever you want. Haz lo que tú quieras. It's your money. You spend it as you please. Give it away. Give it away. If you want to give it away to them instead of Sweet Kikino, that's up to you. You know, that's up to you. You know, you want to give it away to them. You want to continue maintaining their lifestyle. You know, their steak, $17,000 steak dinner with the guy with the salt like that. You know, going like that with the salt. You know what I'm trying to say? The guy like that. You know, he's like 4 feet, 8 inches. You know, that guy. And you want to maintain their sushi dinners, their red gold fast car, Montclair sweaters, Supreme hoodies. You know what I'm saying? Ray-Ban glasses, Nike sneakers, you know, Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, Supreme sneakers, you know, with a Supreme red backpack floating in the Miami River. That's up to you, papi. Eso pa' ti, papá. Que se joda. Que se joda. I'm telling you, the big boss is on fire today. I'm on fire for free, ladies and gentlemen. Alberto, coño, coopera con la citación, Alberto, coopera. Alberto, el italiano, allá, Forza Italia, ese es mi amigo, es uno de los míos. Alberto, te quiero, papá. I'm going to tell you something here, ladies and gentlemen. Gracias for the fire. Thank you very much for the fire, guys. I'm going to tell you something here now that you need to know about, you know? Stop maintaining those people. If you want to maintain somebody, maintain the animal shelters, you know, the Camile's house over there in downtown, the homeless people. You maintain those people, okay? If you don't want to maintain Sweet Kikino, you maintain those people, okay? So here goes the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, is a Rolex Oyster Flex Sky Dweller with a green dial. You know, yellow gold, 42 millimeter, reference number 336238, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this watch has been behaving like this, you know, like a seesaw. You know, it depends how they, you know, they sell from one dealer to another dealer. They sell back. Pero se jodieron, se cagaron en su madre. Se cagaron en su madre. Ahí se quedó parado. Se quedó parado ahí. It stood there stuck, you know. The Oyster Flex Sky Dweller with a yellow, gold, green dial. Unbelievable. Listen, if we get a thunder lightning, we leave and that's it. We've done an unbelievable show, you know. We leave and that's all. We just leave. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, this is the green dial. It has a beautiful green dial. Probably one of the most sexiest green dials out there. And I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that watch. Whatever you do, be careful. No, Randy, I cannot say 33 because it'll be a lie. This is an Oyster Flex yellow gold with a green dial. Sky Dweller, you know, beautiful one, beautiful looking watch. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking into that watch, don't pay. Whatever you do, don't pay for that watch more than $46,000. You're paying the extra $6,000. Listen to me, Papi. You're paying for the extra $6,000. Wow, I got a TV tower antenna lightning. So let me say it quickly. You're paying $6,000 for the green dial. You're paying $6,000 for the green dial. Just to let you know. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something else. This is a Rolex. Not loud and clear. Wow. I'm still a recovering tomato can. Okay. Okay, brand. Our next watch is a Rolex Oyster Flex Meteorite dial. Listen to this. I've been dealing with this, not with this watch, with this watch model for the last 9 months. I'm not going to say it's the same watch, but I've been dealing with this model for the last year, okay? It is the Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex yellow gold meteorite dial. Unbelievable. You have to be a mammoth. You have to be a mammoth to get allocated that watch. You know, the watch is like $41,000 when they were giving it out. You know, giving it out in the back door. You know, back there, all the way back there, $41,000. But this is an older reference already. This is the 116515 LN. LN, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you I started at 81, 79, 78, 77, 75. And I'm going to tell you this because you can do whatever you want with your money. You spend it as you please. If you're still looking for that Daytona Oyster Flex with a meteorite dial, you know what you like. You know what meteorite dial equals? Localization, deep. Deep. That's what I got to tell you. Don't pay for that watch. Okay. Okay, Alberto bien. Don't pay for that watch. You ready for this? Papi, this is a watch that in the Corona era, you had to come up for that one. Not the Rose. The Rose was even higher. For that one, you had to cough up $225,000 for that watch. In the Corona era, 225 in your Ferrari. And bing, 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 bing. Wire. Give it away. They're not like us. Ra. I'm telling you, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. Look at me, guys. Look at me real well. I'm going to be tomorrow on the Antique Show. Tomorrow, look for me. I'm going to be there with different glasses. I think they're going to be black tomorrow. You know? Don't pay for that watch, for that oyster. For that, not oyster, that Oyster Flex, meteorite dial, yellow gold, 116515. Don't pay for it more than $72,800. Ladies and gentlemen, I swear to God, I got to stop. I just got right now the number 50. I don't know, maybe because you guys were telling me 50, but right now I just showed on my thumb clock, I have 50 thumbs up, man. Man, I'm unbelievable. Yeah, you know it, Papa. Glasses, black ones. I'm gonna wear black tomorrow. Or maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my last watch market update. It is the Vacheron Constantin, the Historics, the 222, the 4200H with a blue dial stainless steel. Stainless steel, 51, wow, unbelievable. I'm so overwhelmed, man. I'm so overwhelmed. I really am, guys. Coño, man, from the bottom of my heart, for real. I'm speechless. Thank you so much, man. All of you for all those thumbs up, man. And right now, we even have 40 organic watch channel subscribers. You know what that is? That's everybody from the antique show looking at this show. I'm telling you, we probably have like 20 of us here, real recovering tomato cans, and 20 spoofers, Spoofers, spookers, whatever you want to call them. They're looking at the show right now. Because I'm going bananas. You know what I'm saying? I'm going bananas. But ladies and gentlemen, this Vacheron Historics 222 4200H. Coño Thurston, you gotta stop that, man. It's all love, papi. You're one of mine, papá. Agradecido un millón. Let me give you a sweetheart, man. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, papá. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Thurston, de verdad. Muchas gracias. This watch here is a Vacheron Constantin, the Historics 222 with a 4200H blue dial stainless steel with a 37 millimeter casing. This watch has a retail price. I'm going to give you the retail price so you know what's happening. I want all of you to know that like every single Vacheron Constantin overseas watch is basically under retail. But for some reason, this model right here, has been the one that has left some meat. I want you guys from the antique show to hear me. I'm telling them, I'm giving you props, you guys. This is the only watch model from a Vacheron Constantin that has meat left on the bone, okay? The retail price of that watch is $34,700. And I'm going to tell all of you because I'm nice. I feel nice today because I got 51. I have 51 organic, thumbs up. I'm going to tell you, I got 51. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more for that historic stainless steel blue dial. Don't pay more than $51,000. Don't pay more than $51,000. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Before I let you guys go, I got to tell all of you one more time, because I got a lot of you here today, and I want you to know this. They're parading out there the Rolex GMT Pepsi with a Jubilee bracelet. Man, 32, 31, 33, fully sticker, white tag, hanging hologram. It'll be 33, all that good stuff. And I want you to know it is a beautiful watch. It is a beautiful watch, but I also want you to know that a watch, when it's really, really being hyped, is when they're talking about the watch getting discontinued. Wow, 37,000. Listen to what Grande 65 put there. I told you 31, 32, 33. Grande 65 put there $37,000. $37,000 for a stainless steel watch that the retail is, I don't know, $11,000. Believe me, guys, it's a lot of money, But the punchline here is, before I let you all go, is once that watch discontinue, it flatlines. It flatlines. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your children's tuition money. You're going to lose your wife's 401k. That watch is not going to go to $100,000. That watch is not going to go to $75,000. I promise you, it's not going to go. So to all of you who are thinking of getting in that bandwagon of buying a Rolex GMT Pepsi Jubilee bracelet with a red and blue ceramic bezel and black dial, man, be careful. Do I think the watch is going to be discontinued? I'm going to have to tell you this. There is another watch that I have to tell you this. I'm going to go to Rolex for a second. Rolex has put out another watch, has flown out. It just came out. One of those leak pictures. They're calling this one the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. Like the Batman, but this is the Dark Knight. I don't know if this is blue and purple and like a exactly. I don't know what it is, but they're talking about that watch. They're even putting a name, the Dark Knight. I don't know what Dark Knight means. I think it's from a movie title, right? A movie title. But They're saying that. So I honestly think that maybe what they're gonna do with the Pepsi, they're gonna discontinue that reference number and then come back with something else. You know, that's what I think. With another reference number, you know, la misma mierda con diferente pesta, the same smell, you know, the same shit with different smell. You know. So the Dark Knight, that's what they're calling it. I just finished saying it, grande. All black GMT, dark. I don't know what it is. So just to let you know, I gave you some leak information on Patek Philippe. I gave you a last leak information on a new GMT that they're talking about. So be very careful. Bueno, Alberto, mira lo que puso Grande 65 ahí. Grande 65, he's a loyal organic watch channel subscriber. He put there $37,000. You know, we're talking about a steel watch, papi. You know, so exactly, David, exactly. So you gotta be very, very careful. That's my information to all of you. I told you that in the next live stream, I'll tell you the other watch models from the Calatrava, Complications, Cuba Test Expansion, and the Grand Complications. From the bottom of my heart, I hope all of you enjoy this watch market update. I'm still in shock that we have 52 organic watch channel subscribers. This is the night. You know, I have gotten in videos that I've done, just regular videos, I've gotten over 100, even 300 likes. But in a live stream, guys, you're part of this. You're part of history. I've never hit 53 thumbs up on a live stream. This is my first time, so I'm very, very excited. I hope the people from the platform of YouTube hear me and they can hear how excited I am. Again, you know, thank you so much. I'm speechless today, de verdad. So thank you very much. You know, 53, wow, man. 53 and moving up, guys. So that shows a lot of love. And again, you guys are history. You guys are watching like like when Kobe Bryant, he got 80 buckets, or 80 points in a game. Well, 54, wow. 54, wow. I can stay here and let it keep on moving up, But again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Please don't forget to keep on, giving me thumbs up. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe to the channel but just keep on, keep on with the thumbs up. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all of you with all sincereness. With all sincereness, I really mean that, And if anybody has any trouble with a watch or you need some deeper information on a watch, don't be shy. Send me an email. I'll read the email and I'll tell you how I feel. Like the gentleman that was asking me today, he asked me a few times and I even felt bad. If I like the fluted bezel or the smooth bezel on the platinum, I'll give you my really what I believe, what I believe and what I like. I'll tell you the truth. So any of you that have any kind of doubts, please reach out to me. Okay, guys? Again, in behalf of me and Sweet Kikino, as we say always, I want to thank you again one more time. So take care and don't forget to brush your hair. Los quiero mucho. Bendiciones a todos. Un abrazo y un cariño a todos ustedes. Lots of love, right? Lots of love to all of you. Many embraces to all of you. You were part of history today. 55! Whoa! 55! Whoa! It was a song. 55. Wow, man. Wow. Lo quiero mucho. Bye, guys. I'm the happiest guy tonight. Lo quiero mucho. Bye, guys. Tremendo, man.